like it's to me it's much better than what we had when I was like 4.
Yeah.
When I was like a kid, and cassettes were the thing. I mean, and not to mention, you still have MySpace, although it's dying day by day. But
yeah, no, MySpace is pretty much, at least it's dead to me.
Well, I mean, I will admit the music side of MySpace. Many bands go on there and have that as their official website. There, I think it's thriving in science. All bands, but their music. But the social networking aspect of it, you're definitely right. It's kind of dying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, like, if it's just bands that use MySpace and no one else, then it's a little tough.
Yeah. All right, but sorry about interrupting you. You were saying about MySpace and whatnot?
No, I was just saying, it's like, how cool is that, that, every band has a MySpace, so you just catch a name. Normally you can just, MySpace.com, just slash in their name, and normally it comes up.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That one ability alone is an amazing ability to get your music out. I can remember when, my ex-girlfriend was like, oh, I get this thing called a cable modem. It wasn't that long ago. It was only like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Before broadband was really kind of in vogue. Now it's everywhere. And I mean, it's just like, we have a radio show here that gives us airplay, but for the most part, there's no such thing as airplay now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, were it not for the internet and, like, little bits of data, like, going around the internet, no one would really get heard.
Exactly.
So, I kind of thank whoever's up there responsible for this every day for, like, stuff like MySpace and Facebook, and just the ability to, I can send my music to some dude in California that wants to check it out,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely helps you guys out, just trying to expand the band and get gigs wherever. Actually, with you being in Baltimore, quick question though. Obviously, you know of Record Theater at Towson, correct?
Yes.
All right, do you guys perform there that often, being from Baltimore, or do you normally go other places a bit further away?
It's funny. Our first show, or at least one of our first shows, like one of the first 3, was actually at the Wrecker. And the Wrecker is a great place.
Yeah.
But it's also, we call it the shoebox because it's really long and skinny.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely speak.
So it's like really kind of hard to fill, and we haven't been back there since. But it is a cool place if you can fill it. Because obviously if you don't fill it, they tend to not want to book you.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I mean, I was there this past Friday actually for a band that was in here on one of our other shows. Corin Campbell. She's from the Baltimore area, and I know exactly what you're talking about with the shoebox. It's very long, but it's very narrow. Like, have you ever been to 930 Club?
Not yet. We actually just saw Angel Spit there not too long ago, and Skinny Puppy was there the other night. That place is cool too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you've at least been in there to see a show, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, like, obviously, you know how it's more wide than it is long, which I think is definitely a better way, because like you're closer to the band in a sense. Like, say for instance you were performing, I think it's better for your fans to be closer to the band. Obviously you're kind of spread out, but you're still in a sense closer than being dead center but all the way back at the Record Theater, for instance, which is definitely a good thing for you guys, because like I mean, I don't know about you guys how you perform, but some bands reach out, give each fans picks or so on and so forth, which kind of helps you guys interact with fans, which is a lot better in a sense.
If you like 930, we have another place here now called Bourbon Street, and it's kind of like it's almost like if you took the Wrecker and combined it with 930. It's almost a shoebox shape, but it's small enough to where you can be anywhere in that place and you can see the band. It's like they have stairs. They kind of step down to the stage, and they have an upper layer.
Oh, sounds great.
Like an upper balcony type of deal, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing for shows. We played there for Noise in the Basement, and I would tell anyone if they're ever looking for a combination between Record and 930, that place is it. And because of where it is, it's across the street from Sonar.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
It's if you've been to Sonar, you know where this place is, and the sound is great, the stage is great, the lights are great. It's real cool.
All right, I'll definitely have to check that out, because
I've been wanting to go to Sonar for some time.
Yeah.
There's been some bands that have actually been playing there.
It's a great, as far as I know, Sonar, the theater itself has a great bunch of metal bands who play there. So maybe the other place that's right across the street will hopefully be able to get a good crowd there too, hopefully, and start thriving the metal scene in Baltimore, because there are quite a few bands that we're actually speaking to in Baltimore or Virginia, so on and so forth, DC itself, whatever, that are definitely thriving metal bands that are just trying to look for some people. So if you have good places like the 930 Club, I mean, they normally cater to the larger bands. Like In Flames was there quite a few weeks ago. You have Rob Zombie coming. So, I mean, obviously, larger metal bands. Gwar, yeah, exactly, for instance. But Record Theater seems to be more personalized. I would say, like, more local bands. And also, the other venue you mentioned, would you say that's more, like, mainstream bands? Kind of like Rob Zombie, where it's, like, very large scale, like, people with big names, or do they cater more towards the local bands, kind of similar to you guys?
You mean Bourbon Street?
Yes.
The way Bourbon Street is designed, it's actually like three kind of clubs in one, and they have a kind of a wall that comes down in the middle of it, like in the middle, not in the middle. It's almost like split into like a third. So if you open up the wall, it's the entire building, and if you put the wall down, you only get a third of the club. Or actually a quarter of the club, and they call it the quarter. And that's when they have the local bands. Now, when they have the bigger bands, they open the wall up, and then you have the bigger rooms. I mean, it can take both. Right now, it seems to be catering to a lot of non-metal stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think a big reason because of that is because they have Sonar literally across the street.
Okay, yeah. And Sonar has quite a few big bands there. But, I mean, but at least they have the capability of thriving. Because, say, for instance, Sonar had something other than metals. I don't know, some rock show or whatever. You have the capability, if you wanted to have a metal band play right across the street at Bourbon Street. So, like, it's kind of does allow for the thriving of metal to be back in Baltimore, which is definitely a good thing.
I would hope so, because, like I said earlier, we used to have a really an amazing local metal scene here. And we still have metal bands, but I don't see
it's not thriving as much.
Yeah.
What we had, you know what I mean, where, you could go to, like, How Daddy's or, the Go Club or, you had a bunch of smaller places where, you had, local bands and a lot of these guys were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And because we had so many of them, it was easy to trade shows in and out and hop on little small tours and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Also, let me quickly interrupt this in a quick interview. Just talking about shows to let our listeners know. January 20th, actually, after we get back from winter break, Arch Enemy's going to be at the Record Theater. So for any listeners, definitely check that out. It's going to be a great show. I totally forgot the bands offhand who's going to be opening up for them, but it's going to be.
I could look it up.
Yeah, definitely look it up and let our listeners know. But definitely, Arch Enemy Record Theater. All the listeners definitely check that show out. It's going to be. Seems like it's definitely going to be great. I mean, Angela and singing and just very hardcore music. Definitely check that out.
Let's see.
All right.
Featuring Arch Enemy. Oh, Exodus. Exodus is playing with them. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Actually, I really like Exodus.
Yeah.
And then there's also Arsis and Mutiny Within. I've heard of Arsis. I don't know Mutiny.
I've definitely heard of Mutiny Within. Definitely some great music there. So for all listeners, definitely check it out. I can't imagine it's going to be that expensive, so you don't need to worry about spending a boatload of money at all.
Yeah.
For that.
If you do want to spend a boatload of money, go see Megadeth, Slayer, and Testament. The pit tickets are $202. Yeah. I know.
It's
such a sick lineup, but.
Well, I mean, the $202 was just when I looked the other day for the venue somewhat close to me.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I remember like when I saw Metallica in DC this past January, that was only like $75. I mean, with the fees, it made it to like $85 or something. But still, that was just from
that was from part of some big like, hey, we know it's a recession, so the tickets are $10.
Yeah.
I recently just paid $200 actually for 2 tickets to see Muse and U2.
Though at the art. Actually,
and believe it or not, that was worth it to me.
Really? Well, I mean,
I like both those. I mean, U2 I've got like mixed feelings with. Like their new album, I didn't like so much. Although there was a couple songs in there that like really kind of grew to me.
Yeah. All right.
Muse, I'm actually kind of a big fan of.
Yeah, definitely.